Definitely want you to know that, especially for the students out there too, is that I can't wait till everybody can get back on campus. I really want to hear your thoughts, how you can get back engaged with DePaul Athletics. What can we do for you to help us have the unbelievable environment for our teams? And so we've got some time now because we don't have students on campus and we don't have fans yet back at games. So let's brainstorm. And I'm going to put together this fan experience committee, and I need some students to be a part of it. So if Bella, if you're not ready to sign up for it, then you're going to give me some people that tell them to let you know who's interested, because we want to get this thing going. And let's really talk about some things while we have some time, because that'll go away really quickly. We need to have the best fan experience in the country. And why can't that be here at DePaul?
What are some of the things that people should know about you so they could really get a sense of who you are personally?
I think the biggest thing is that I am a true family man, in the sense of I love a family atmosphere and culture with my staff, but also spending time with my wife, my son. My daughter is actually in Kentucky right now, my two dogs. I mean, that's kind of like what I do every day. I'm pretty much a straight shooter without being abrupt. I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve. I do love conversations and talking. So the COVID-19 has taken a lot of of what I like to do every day, is be around people. I worked at a conference office for a lot of my career, but the student piece was the missing piece for me. So getting on a campus and being around young people and helping mentor young people to give them opportunities that I hope to have when I was in school too. That was the missing piece for me that really led me to DePaul.
So you spent 12 successful years at Kentucky while you were there. What are you going to miss the most about being there?
It's really the people. I miss the people. I mean, you go somewhere for 12 years. My son, he's 13 years old. He grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. I still talk to John Calipari probably at least once every other day. And so those things haven't escaped me.
You are also a master's student right now. You're getting your MBA. So how's that going?
It's tough. I'm in an executive MBA program, so I chose that versus online because I didn't want to do remote learning. So to be forced to do remote learning, I'm understanding what you guys are going through too, and it's tough because it's a cohort with 14 students all together. They're all professionals like myself. I really enjoy it because, I mean, what opportunity it is for me as an athletic director to actually say I've been in a learning environment, especially during this pandemic, just like our students, and can relate a little bit to the challenges of it, but also the things I'm learning right now. If I got my master's 20 years ago, most of these things didn't exist. The things that we're focusing on right now, the last two classes that I just completed this past weekend were managing global challenges, which is really dealing with everything this pandemic represents, and financial management, which was really so focused on the stock market and things that are going on that have been impacted by what's going on in the last 8 months. And so it's a unique opportunity for learning for me. But when I get that degree in April and, to get my master's at this point in my life, it's actually been a lot more rewarding than I thought.
Implementing those skills that you had used successfully at Kentucky, how are you going to bring those in over here and really achieve your goals?
Right. Really what that is becoming the premier athletics program in the Big East Conference. The 5 pillars, what I've given as far as my vision for that is, dominating in different areas that we haven't in our past. Now, starting with academic excellence, we've been great at that. 174 of our student athletes were honored by the Big East. We only have 210 or so student athletes in total. But our challenge is to be a 3.5 overall GPA for all our student athletes and maintain a 3.0 in each of our 15 sports. Now, last spring, with the pandemic, some pass-fail, we accomplished that for the first time. But how about making that our standard going forward? I call these our ABCs of DePaul Athletics. So A was academic excellence. B is building a DePaul brand. That's making it a destination spot for coaches, staff, not a stepping stone job. C is championship experiences, and that's really providing the best 4 years of your life if you're an athlete here at DePaul. And part of that is winning games and championships and going and the path to those championships. I want us to be a top 100 athletic program overall. The D is developing of our people, and that's true development of our young people, but also our staff, our coaches, leadership. Last is external outreach, and that's things like doing this with you, Bella, talking to our constituents on campus, our fans, our alums.
You're not just planning to, renovate athletics, but also just the whole DePaul community and just getting all that to.
Yeah, how do we become that one big family that we always talk about, right? We're basically another school in the college, and I'm the dean of athletics. Yeah. And if we look at it in that approach, it's not siloed, it's not some separate entity. We're a part of a bigger family, and we have a role too, because we're the front porch for the university. We're the thing that most people see to decide what they think about us. A lot of times, maybe their first interaction with the university as a whole is watching our men's basketball team in the NCAA tournament. And that's good and bad. That's why we have to take care of everything and be of high integrity, because when we mess up, that's also the front porch that everybody sees, and that's what they hear about DePaul University. And so I take that very seriously in the role that we play. And I think we have a unique position to bring this family all together. And so when we get all our students back on campus and we're fully functional, my hope is that you see athletics very integrated in what's going on main campus. So that way the students like yourself and others want to get more involved in what's going on in athletics.
You've been having conversations with former players from the program. What are those conversations looking like? Because I know you're trying to have them as well be more involved and, represent the brand at DePaul.
It's been great. We're actually starting up what we're calling some huddles, alumni huddles with all the different other sports. So I'm getting my head coaches to introduce me to all their alums in each sport. The men's basketball in particular, we had to tackle, because trying to just get a pulse on, what has happened, what's missing. Talking to folks like Bobby Simmons or Mark Aguirre, Rod Strickland, Wilson Chandler. I'm trying to get in with Quentin Richardson. I haven't talked to him yet, but Terry Cummins and Ty Corbin. You're talking about some of the biggest names, Dave Corzine in sports, that are DePaul guys, and they're all willing to give time and effort to getting DePaul athletics as a whole back at the forefront of what's going on. One of the reasons they came here, trying to get back to being Chicago's team, nobody's took that spot. It's there waiting for us. We've got to get back to being connected with Chicago in a big way. And my hope is I can help provide that connection.
What was it like for you having 4 of your former programs players in the NBA finals this year?
That was fun, because that was one of the things, in the last 12 years at Kentucky, we've had a lot of players in the NBA, a lot of guys that I'm going to have to buy dinner for when they come to Chicago, because they're all telling me that I'm buying now that I got a big job, right? It was kind of fun, because that's been one of the missing pieces from the Calipari era of guys getting in those championship finals. So for Anthony Davis, a Chicagoan, to win his first championship. Rajon Rondo, who I know as well, winning another championship. And then for Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero and this young part in their career to make that trek up, along with Pat Riley, his role. And then Frank Vogel, he was the video guy at Kentucky back in the day, and a chance to so Big Blue Nation, they enjoyed the finals. Probably the ratings were through the roof for Big Blue Nation watching NBA finals. What an accomplishment. And I'm really happy for Anthony and his family, because I know they, chance to win a national championship at Kentucky, but actually winning an NBA Finals World Championship for the Lakers is pretty neat. I need him to come to my fantasy camp that we're gonna try to put together next summer or something. I said, you don't have to be a DePaul guy. You can be a Chicagoan for the camp. Yeah. So come back and see Chicago.
Yes, for sure, and that's amazing, because you're bringing in those connections.
I've told those guys, when you get in town and you're playing, definitely want to, let's go to dinner. But if you want a place for your team to come work out and shoot around, hey, let's get on the campus. We need to have more NBA guys around. And we've got a lot of DePaul alums that we want to start making in the NBA too. So I think it'll be fun. We're talking about some big things, from connections from Kentucky and DePaul that we might can do in the past. Still working on that series to get together at Rupp and Wintrust Arena, but we might put together an alumni game with Kentucky and DePaul alums. That'd be fun. So let's just figure out what we can get done. I'm open-minded to all ideas, Bella. So if you got some things too, let me know.
For sure. I'll take you up on that offer. Thank you so much for your time. That was
no problem.
awesome.